In this video, I'm going to share two main concepts from Craig Groeschel's leadership podcast and how it applies to us as young adults. And by the end of this video, you'll have a simple system for starting to shift one thing in your life so that way the rest of your life can be better. Because successful people do consistently what unsuccessful people do occasionally. So let's go to the first part of what Craig Groeschel has to share with us.
So in the last episode, we talked about starting with who goals instead of do goals. Not just what do you want to do in your leadership, but instead, who do you want to become as a leader? And at the end of the episode, I ask you the question, based on who you want to become, what one habit do you need to start? Based on who you want to be as a leader, what one habit do you need to start? Now, hopefully you created some leadership I am statements. I am a leader with integrity, or I am a leader who loves people, whatever it might be. And as you know who you want to become, it should be clear what habit you need to start. And before we dive into real specific content, what I want to do is I want to just get you to drill down and name the one habit that you want to start. And I want to encourage you, don't let another year pass without adding that specific habit that you need to add. I'm guessing for some of you, there's been like year over year, like this year I want to do this year I'm going to do, and you haven't done it. You probably know what you need to do. You probably know where you want to change. You probably tried before and you probably haven't succeeded. So let's name it and let's drill down to the how and let's add that habit that will increase your leadership impact.
So this is the one thing that we have to do is to name what is that one habit. And specifically thinking in terms of the 5 areas of our lives, of our faith, our foundation, our finances, our relationships, and our health, asking ourselves as a young adult, where I am in life, what is that one area that this year would be most impacted if I were to grow it? Is it being more consistent with reading Bible or having some area of faith in your life? Is it your foundation and your leadership, whether that's listening to Craig Groeschel's podcast on a monthly basis or reading 5 pages of a book on leadership or 10 pages or saving $10 a week by not going to get fast food or whatever that is, or in your relationship, sending one text a week to someone that you love and telling them how grateful you are for them. But it's choosing what one habit in that area of your life, because it's not just what we're doing today, but it's what we're doing over time that's compounded. And so that's the first part. And then the second part that I want to share with you guys, making sure that we're voting for who it is that we want to become. And then I'll share one other thought at the end here.
Leader. And I love what James Clear teaches. He teaches that each action is a vote toward your identity. I want you to think about this. Each time you do anything at all, you're voting toward the type of person that you're going to become. In other words, like if you hit snooze on the alarm, you're voting, I'm an undisciplined person. But if you get up when the alarm sounds, you're voting, hey, I'm a disciplined person. Any positive action is a positive vote toward you becoming the leader that you want to become. So if you want to journal daily, when you write one sentence, what you're doing is you're voting that you're someone who journals. Then the good news is an object in motion tends to stay in motion. If you write one sentence every day, it won't be long before you're writing 2 sentences and then a paragraph and then a page. You've been voting toward your identity. If you exercise for 2 minutes, what you're doing is you're voting, I'm a healthy person. If you exercise for 2 minutes, it won't be long before you're exercising for 20 minutes. And guess what? Oh my gosh, you may have just found a keystone habit that unintentionally brings other positive benefits. Since you're a person that works out for 20 minutes, maybe you start eating better. Why? Because you've been voting that you're a person that takes care of your body. Here's what I want to tell you. Never underestimate how you can start something big through one small habit. One small habit. It's the small things that no one sees that brings the big results everyone wants. And what I want to say to you is this. There's more in you. As a leader, what I promise you is there's way more in you than you can even imagine. And this year, if you change that one thing that's holding you back, you can start the pendulum moving toward the identity that you want to become and doing the actions that you want to do and having the leadership impact that you want to make. And here's what's really, really fun is this. I promise you, you're going to be successful way earlier than you think. What most people think is, okay, I've got to start this habit and I'm going to be successful like in 3 years whenever I get everything just where I want to. And that's not our mindset. As leaders, we have a totally different mindset. And I want to say it this way. You're not successful when you hit your goal in the future. You're successful when you're faithful today.
And that's super important to know what and how do we define success? Is it the daily action that we're taking, or is it when we achieve whatever the big thing is in the future. And when we can start to attach our value to, hey, I did the small thing today that mattered, it makes it to where we can enjoy the process, we can enjoy the studying, we can enjoy the creation process. And also something else that he shares about in this podcast is this: after I do blank, then I do blank. And I want you to think about, okay, what's the one habit? Is it in my faith? Is it in my foundation? Is it in my finances, my relationships, or my health? And which one of those ones do I need to do? And what are you going to attach it to? What are we going to attach it to? For me, one of the ones that I'm using is that after I read Bible every morning, I'm going to write out one new video idea. So that way, after I read Bible, then I'm going to create this one idea, with the idea of being able to make a video at least once a day and be able to batch them together ultimately, because I'm consistently creating an idea of what I could share that would be valuable to other young adults and college students who want to develop character and content that helps us do that. So if you've enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a like and subscribe to this channel. It really makes a massive difference for me. Thanks so much for watching. Adios.